Tell me a little about yourself and how you got into running.
Yeah, so actually, I started running like super late. Pretty much my whole life I was a dancer. I started when I was 2 and I danced competitively till I was like 18. But my two older brothers, they were both in track and football, and they both did track at the University of Regina. So the coach kept like saying you should come and try out for track. So then when I was in first year university, I was like lifting at the gym, and then one of the coaches came out to me and they were like, "Do you want to try out for the track team?" And then I was like, "Sure." And then I think I just came to a practice a few days later, and then pretty much just have been training track since then with the U of R.
That's fun. So did you miss doing dancing?
Um, like I would say sometimes I miss doing dance. I feel like it's kind of fun getting to try a different sport just because I used to dance so much that I feel like it's nice to like take that energy and start something new and try something different. So sometimes like the odd time I'll go dance just because I do miss it sometimes, but I also really have like a strong passion for track now. So
Um, so what distances do you usually run?
I do like pretty much all the short sprints. Like my main one is the 60 meter, 100 meter. I do the 200 meter, and then I usually end up having to run in like the 4 by 400 meter relay.
Um, so I guess what made you decide that you were a sprinter rather than long distance?
Um, I'd probably just say because my brothers were both good at sprints. Like my older brother has the 300-meter school record at our university, and then my other brother had like the 100-meter provincial record. So they kind of just assumed that I'd be better at sprints, and I just like never really had a like interest in distance. I think it looks cool and stuff, but I never really liked running long distance. So I kind of just came and like started out as a sprinter, and it kind of stuck. So now I really like it.
Um, so what's it like being a sprinter? Because I'm more of a distance guy, so it's hard to know exactly what sprinters are like.
Yeah, like the training more so you mean, or like day to day kind of?
Yeah.
Um, it's pretty good. Like I feel like we get a nice range of workouts. I feel like people always think all our workouts are super easy and stuff, and like they some days they definitely are a bit more like technical. Like we'll do acceleration days that are more like 10s, 20s, 30s, but we definitely get some like fast tempo in there, and those workouts are pretty hard. And then when we do speed endurance, like doing like full out 200s or things like that, those days are like super, super hard. So I would say it's like a nice big mix of like really technical things and then also like really hard stuff like tempo and speed endurance.
Um, what is your favorite workout that you've done?
Mm, I'm trying to think. Probably like if my body's feeling good, I would probably say like some kind of top speed day. So that would usually be like if we're doing flies or something, it's kind of like you just like slowly build up to about like you probably spend like 20 minutes like build not 20 minutes, 20 meters building up to your full speed and then you just sprint as hard as you can for like 30 meters like in between like cones and stuff. And we'll usually do about like anywhere from 4 to 6 of those. And those ones are fun because it's pretty much just like trying to work on your top speed, which is like just your max speed. So I would say that's my favorite just because you kind of feel cool doing it. You feel really fast. So those ones are my favorite. And then I would say I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with speed endurance, which I think like the most recent one I did was like 6 120-meter sprints all out with like an 8 minute break. And those ones are also pretty fun because like you start getting a lot of lactic and you get pretty fatigued. But at the end of the workout, I just feel like you feel so accomplished. So I would say though that's one of my favorites that I love hate kind of.
Um, would you say is your favorite part about sprinting?
Hmm. I'd probably say my favorite part of a sprinting is it's just like cool to feel fast. I would say like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's just cool to like to just run super fast, honestly.
Um, do you have people that you look up to in sprinting?
Um, Like I would say I have like favorites. Like I feel like everyone loves like Usain Bolt or like Johan Blake and like some of the Jamaican sprinters because my mom is also Jamaican. So I feel like I always thought the Jamaican sprinters were really cool growing up. And then I think too, like after I've gone to nationals the last like few years, and I feel like it's always really cool to get to see like a lot of the top Canadian girl sprinters. So I would say that's like one of my favorite meets just because you get to see all the really good sprinter girls. So not as much like someone specifically, but I think it's just cool to see like the best people in Canada run.
So do you like win it? So have you won a lot of meets, like big races?
Um, I wouldn't say like won a lot of the big races. I feel like I've like placed pretty good for someone who's started, I guess, for someone who's a bit newer, but I guess I did win one of like our bigger meets this year, so that was pretty cool because that was the first time I'd actually won one of our kind of like big university meets. So I won like the meet in Edmonton this year, and then um I've also like placed in the top eight at our like Western Canada meet too the last few years, so that was pretty cool. And then I made the semifinals at nationals this year outdoors, so that was also really cool. So I haven't like won any big championships or anything, but I feel like I've placed in some decent spots over the years.
Do you think that come up soon? Like Wade could be winning some championship races?
I would say hopefully for sure. Like, yeah, I definitely think it'd be cool to be in like the top 12 at U Sports this year. And um, yeah, it'd be pretty cool to get like into that next level where you get to compete at a super high level and be like winning medals and stuff. So hopefully.
Um, so what year are you in college?
So I'm in my fourth year of eligibility. I took like a break in between for 1 year just because I had graduated. So I'm actually taking my master's. And then we also had like a COVID year in second year. So I've been in school for 5 years, but I've only used 4 years of eligibility because of like the COVID year. And then I had like a gap year of school too.
So how many more years do you have left to like run?
I just have one more in university, but I'll probably still just run after that without the university and just keep competing and see how good I can get.
Do you think that you can ever get like onto the professional running field eventually?
I definitely think like it'd be pretty cool to get to that level one day. Um, I don't know. Honestly, my plan was just kind of to keep working and like see how good I can get, keep trying to hit all the big meets and kind of just go from there and see how like good I can get. But I do think it'd be really cool to like get to the level one day where you're running professionally.
Um, so have you met any professional athletes?
Um, a lot of like the Canadian ones. I've never actually been to an international meet before, but I've met a lot of like the top Canadian ones like Damian Warner, Aaron Brown, Audrey LeDuc. Um, most of the girls who are like run the Canadian relays, a lot of the actually Andre DeGrasse, just because we always see them at our national meet, they always end up running. And then after they'll like kind of do like question and answer things and like different things like that. So I've seen a lot of the top Canadian ones in person, or even like at U Sports, we end up having a lot of the top Canadian athletes too. So I've seen a lot of them just at meets and stuff.
So what's that like seeing top level athletes like and like speak to them, I guess. Like what's that like?
Trying to think if I've actually like talked to most of them. I think the only one I've talked to like kind of was just like Aaron Brown and then just and it was mostly just like to take a picture with him. So we didn't actually talk to him very long. And then it was actually really cool. We talked to Damian Warner. We asked if we could get a picture with him like a few years ago. And it was pretty cool because we were at nationals and we were like talking to him about his races and he was super nice and he was asking all of us like what events are you guys doing this weekend and stuff. And we just thought it was like really cool that he was so personable with us. So that was really cool. But I think in general, it's really nice to see people like sprinting at that high of a level because even in youth sports, like we do have like a really high level, but it's a little bit more of like a mix of different levels of track. So I feel like it's always really cool to actually get to see how fast the pros are.
Um, I guess are there any pros that you've not met that you'd want to meet? Like that like oh I really want to meet this person.
Hmm. Let me just think. think it'd be really cool to meet like Usain Bolt. Um, I guess some of the US actually I'd like to see like Tara Davis. She's a long jumper, and then like Hunter Woodall, just because I really like their Instagram and stuff. I like kind of like their online presence, and obviously they're like super good at tracks. I think it'd be really cool to see them. I think it'd be really cool in general just to go to like the Olympics sometime. I'm kind of hoping I can get out for like the LA Olympics in 2028 and get to watch like just like the 100 and 200 meter out there.
Like I think for me, like even though I know like I'll never get to the point where I will be able to compete at that level,
Hmm.
because like how much faster that thing is getting now. Like there's no way I'd even be anywhere close to it. But I think I'd maybe have a good chance like have a better chance of like maybe like to like going like to spectate it or like going to commentate on the races or interview the athletes afterwards.
Hmm.
Because like yes, it'd be really cool to get like a gold medal and a gold, silver, bronze medal. Like that'd be really cool. But I think it'd also be even more cool to just like meet these professional athletes that I've seen a bunch of times on TV and like seeing how good they do at so many meets and then actually seeing them in person and be like, is this real life? Getting to meet this person I've watched.
Yeah, that part is like super cool. I actually kind of like had that feeling at nationals this year because I've gone to nationals the last like this would be my third year going, and pretty much like I think the equivalent for you guys would be like USA's. I think you guys just had it like a week ago too, and it was pretty cool because for the longest time I'd seen all of these athletes like in the relay pools and like I've seen them like on TV, and then it was pretty cool like making the semifinals this year, and like I was in the call room for the 200 meter, and I'm just like sitting beside all these like top level Canadian athletes. So I would say that part is like it was really cool, and it's kind of like it's almost like weird, and you feel almost like a little bit out of place even though you did qualify. You just feel out of place like being in the call room with someone who's a Canadian record holder.
I'm sure it's so cool to be like, oh, I'm about to like be in the same race as this person that's like won these elite level races.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. It's a little intimidating because it was my first time being with people like at that high of a level. Because like I think the people I was racing were running like 22-second 200, so it was definitely a little bit scary. And I was like, I got to make sure I get out in this race. But no, it was super cool. It was a good experience.
Um, so what times do you usually run for the 200?
Oh, my like best. My PB right now is a 25:08:01.
So do you think under 25 is what happens soon? Is
I hope so. I was hoping it was gonna happen at nationals. It was I was really happy because I PB'd by a lot the last few weeks. Like, but going in nationals, my PB was like a 25:44, and then by like the semifinals, I ended up running like a 25:01. So I dropped like point 0.4, which is pretty big for the 200. So I was really happy with that, but I was just like, oh, I wish I like ran point 0.02 faster. Just because one of my goals, like I have a few goals that I have like written on my wall for the last few years, and one of my goals is like 24:9 in the 200. So I was like, oh, I'm so close. So yeah, 24 is definitely one of my goals for the 200.
the 200 your best event?
I think technically the 60 meter is like what scores me the most points, I think. So I'd probably say more like the 60 or the 100 is probably a better event for me.
What time do you have in those?
My 60 meter PB is a 7:64, and then my 100 meter is a 12:08.
I think those are good times.
Yeah, I think they're pretty decent. Yeah, they're pretty decent times. I feel like they're a lot of them are like kind of just right below like the level of like qualifying for nationals and stuff. So I feel like I'm kind of like just under the threshold. So pretty much my goal is just to like hopefully be able to be in the top 12 in the 60 meter next year and make it to nationals indoor.
So when did your last nationals meet that you had?
I had like outdoor nationals last week, and then indoor nationals was in March.
How did outdoor nationals go for you?
Indoor, sorry?
Outdoor nationals.
Oh, sorry. Outdoor nationals is the one where I PB'd last week.
Oh,
So sorry, the one I was talking about was outdoor nationals.
so I somehow missed that.
No, it's
Um,
all. I don't know if I might have not like specified that.
Um, so I guess now are you just on like a little like off season now because you just finished nationals?
Yeah, pretty much. I just have like all of August off, and then we'll go back in September, 5 days a week, pretty much until like March.
So do you like like training that like that far in advance before you actually start competing again?
Um, I do like. I feel like it's definitely tracks a super long season because we usually only take like a month off in August and then about like 2 weeks in March. And that's pretty much like the only time we usually get off all season. So I feel like it's definitely fun because you're with all your friends and like it's really nice to have like the routine, but you can definitely get burnt out some weeks and you're just like, I need a deload and I need like a lighter week because I need a break.
I don't know how I'm sure sprinting is the same way, but at least for distance running, or I guess running in general, like I just find the community very encouraging.
Hmm.
Like even people that I can some like yes, your teammates of course, but like even people who are not your teammates, just like like how they like can still like cheer you on during races and like or like I can still be very good friends with them.
Hmm.
Like how encouraging everyone is. Like they're not like I feel like I'm sure I could think of a mean brother I didn't like if I thought about it long enough. But I feel like anything that come to my mind, they're all extremely nice, super encouraging, and they just and it's just something I like about running is that you can pretty much do it anywhere.
Hmm.
You
Yeah, I definitely love the community aspect. Like, I feel like coming from dance, I remember like one of my favorite things was just like how like supportive everybody is in track, and like I feel like you start going to enough meets, and then you almost like make friends with people from other teams, and like I even like sometimes at U Sports too. I remember like um someone was going for like the high jump record at, no, sorry, or was it Can West? I don't know. It was one of our like big meets. Maybe it was like Can West or U Sports, and it was like the last event of the day, and someone was like high jumping, and they were going for the record in high jump, and literally like everyone just like stayed and was like cheering this person on. Just like one person was like high jumping for like 30 minutes by themselves, and like all these random people who do like random events were just watching this person, and like I just thought it was so cool because what other sport do you just get people who just like come and watch and just cheer on like random people? It's pretty cool.
because I feel like other like I may be wrong because I'm not like a huge fan of like other sports. So it's hard to know exactly about this, but I feel like track and cross country are unique in the way that like you can like have people that like even if you like don't even know a thing about this person, you just know that what they're doing is really cool
Hmm.
and just like no and just knowing like how people cheer for you, just like I do not know this person and yet you still cheer me on. Like that part just such a cool feeling to have. And like something that I always love doing is like telling people telling like if I can at least tell the people I'm racing and say, hey, good job on the race.
Hmm. Yeah, or like everyone like shakes each other's hand, or like during long jump, if someone's on the runway, someone's always like cheering your name and you don't even like know them. It's kind of cool.
Like I feel like not many sports, if any, actually truly do that. Like have like other people like come cheering for you. Like I feel like not many sports do that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's pretty much like specific to track, I'd probably say.
Um, so have you had a lot happen to you where people cheer for you a lot that you don't know?
Um, yeah, I would kind of say like in U Sports because I guess like sorry, I don't know if you know, but U Sports is like our it's our like Canadian University Conference is what it's called. You might have known that already, but anyway, it's kind of cool because we all kind of end up going to the same meets every year. Like all the Western people kind of go to the same meets, so you kind of get to know people from like different schools. So I would say you kind of get a lot of people where like you almost become like track friends. Like when you see them at meets, you always go up and talk to them and like you'll cheer for each other. And it's not like you know the person like super, super well or anything. It's kind of just like you've met each other a few times and then you're kind of used to seeing each other at meets and you almost like become like friends through that kind of. So yeah, I would definitely say like in U Sports specifically, like people just kind of tend to like cheer for each other. Like even sometimes when we go to like nationals, you'll be cheering for other people who are from like our same province and stuff like that. So,
I almost feel like it almost is more helpful when people I don't know cheer me on. Like something about that, just like this person is like for some reason I feel like I'm like whenever I hear someone I know, like it still motivates me. But then when I hear this random person that I may or may not know, or that I may not know, but if I do know them now as well, or someone that I have no idea who this is, cheers me on, like that's a cool feeling
mm.
to like experience.
Yeah, no, it is like super, super cool, I would say for sure.
And so were you shocked about how much the community is tight? I guess like how tight the community is in running. Like, did that surprise you?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Like, I feel like in dance, you definitely do get to see a lot of like you do get to know people and like you are pretty nice with people. I just feel like it's not as much like every person's kind of like cheering each other on or like yeah, I would say like yeah, in track, I would say that's the part that I think is really cool is just like how I guess supportive everybody is in the community. I feel like like most people in track have pretty positive attitudes and everyone's just kind of there to like show up and do their best and obviously like track is a competitive sport. I just think a lot of it is it's like me versus me, whereas I feel like in other sports it's very like it's me versus that person. So I think that's where a lot of like the positivity comes from.
And that was also what I like too, is that like yes, you're obviously racing other people, but also at the same time you're also just kind of racing yourself.
Hmm.
Because like because at least I feel like oh I have a set time I want to get. So yes, I ideally want to get as close to first as I can,
Hmm.
but I can not get no close to first, but still get an amazing time and still be happy. Whereas other sports, you kind of like you have the win or lose. It's like it's like
Yeah.
this or that. There's no
Yeah,
middle ground.
sure.
Um, I meant to ask this earlier, but what got you into dancing when you were young?
My mom loves dance. Like she even to this day, she's always just like, "Oh, are you gonna go back and do dance?" Like my mom like loves dance and she danced and she's just like her whole life is dance. So pretty much like since she knew she was having a girl, she wanted to put me in dance. So then when I was 2, I think I was actually like the youngest person at my studio ever. My mom like put me in dance when I could barely walk and then yeah, I don't know, I just kind of like it became my whole life and then I just like used to do like pretty much every style of dance and um I don't know, I just like did a lot of dance. Like I think by the time I was in high school, I was pretty much dancing like 20 hours a week on top of school. So that was pretty much my whole life growing up.
So did you stop after high school, or did you also do some in college?
I didn't do any in college. There's not like tons to do. Like I know in the States you guys have a lot of like dance teams and stuff and we do. It's just like it's not as big of a thing in Regina. Like we don't really have a huge scene for dance in Canada, I would say, after high school, unless you want to move to Vancouver and like Vancouver, Toronto, kind of. And it's a little bit hard because it's pretty much all like self-funded when you're a dancer. So you're not really like making a lot of money usually from dance, but then you're living in the most expensive cities in Canada. So it's pretty hard to dance after high school, I would say, in Canada, unless you're willing to move to like the big cities and spend a lot of money.
Um, so about Canada, what do you like about being in Canada?
Mm, I like how like I think for the most part people are pretty like nice to each other here and feels pretty safe. We get like pretty good weather in the summers. It's really cold in the winters though. But I don't know, I would just say it like feels like home. I've pretty much always lived here and yeah.
Have you been in the States, or only been in Canada?
Yeah, I've actually been to the States like a lot because it back when I used to dance, we would always travel like every year to some like big dance convention in the States. So I went to like Houston, I've been to Vegas, LA, New York, and then just like some places like Montana, North and South Dakota. Haven't been to Florida, but I want to go sometime.
So do you think that you hope to stay in Canada, or do you like going to, do you think you're going to like move to the States, like after college and all that?
I think I'll probably end up staying in Canada. Yeah, I'm not like 100% opposed to the idea of ever moving, but I feel like as of right now, I'm okay with like being close to my family in Canada.
Um, because I'm not like a huge I don't know like much about the Canadian terrain. Like, is Canada like can you go like is it like small and like you can like well everything's close, or is it like some places in Canada are farther than others, or like
Um,
take long to
it's
get? Yes.
Oh, I see what you mean. It totally depends where you live. Like, I think when people think of Canada, they always think of like Toronto or like Vancouver, and like those ones are like big cities. Like they'd be more comparable to like some of the big cities in like the US. But even then, like I think Toronto only has like 1 million people, and that's our biggest city. But it totally depends where you live. Like I live in Saskatchewan, and in Saskatchewan, like it's like really small. Like my city has like 200,000 people, so pretty much takes like 10 minutes to get everywhere. Like the longest you'd ever drive is like 20 minutes. So it's honestly kind of nice. It makes it like so easy to go back and forth between places. But it like totally depends where you live in Canada because um yeah, there's like a bunch of different types of places.
So how far is your college from yeah from where you live?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's nice.
Pretty much like everywhere you go in my city, it's like 10 minutes away.
Do you like having everything so close?
Yeah, no, it's super nice. I don't know if I could ever live in like, I actually know I couldn't live somewhere like New York. I could not be like on the subway for an hour commuting every day or anything like that.
Um, do you ever feel like it like you don't feel as free being so close to everything? Like everything's just right. Like does it ever feel like too close, I guess? If that makes sense.
No, because I would say like here our houses and things are actually more spacious than the States. It's just we have like way less people here. So like it actually feels more like spaced out than the States or like even living in Saskatchewan, it's like the prairies. So it's a lot of like farming, like pretty much mostly honestly like farming. So it's very like flat and like lots of like open fields and like highways and stuff. So it's actually like really quiet and pretty like spread out. But it's just there's not a lot of like people in the cities. They're small, so it's easy to get everywhere.
So I guess is your favorite thing to do in Canada?
Hmm. Um, like I guess if I was like going on like if I was doing something bigger, probably like to go to Banff. Like we're like 7 hours from Banff. So I like going to the mountains like every so often or like going to bigger places like Calgary to go shopping or do more like that. Because where I live, there's honestly like not tons to do. It's kind of like I just do track, golf. That's pretty much it. There's not really a lot to do here. Go to restaurants too. So I would say probably one of my favorite things is to go to like Calgary or Banff and like or to like any of the other big cities in Canada and go on vacation there and kind of see what they have to offer.
Um, so what's like the farthest place like is it like the States where you can have like like d- do you drive everywhere in Canada, or do you like fly in to get to other places sometimes?
It kind of depends how far you're going. So Saskatchewan's like kind of in the middle. Like we're pretty much north of North Dakota. Or yeah, I think. I'm so bad at geography. I think we're like just north of North Dakota. Or are we north of Montana? I'm so bad at geography, but we're pretty much in like the middle part of Canada. So it kind of depends where you're going. Like if you're going to like Calgary, it's like an hour long flight or like a 7 hour drive. A lot of people usually just drive to Calgary because our flights are pretty expensive in Canada. Um, but like if you're going to Toronto or something, most people would fly out. And it's like I think 4 hours to Toronto or like 3 hours. So I would say it just kind of depends how far you're going. If you're going to a major city, a lot of times people would just fly.
Which do you prefer?
I'm not really a fan of flying just because I'm kind of scared of it, but I like getting there super quick. Like So probably if I could pick, I'd probably rather fly so I don't have to sit in a car for like 8 hours.
Yeah. All I'm sure it's probably a pain like having to like giving like good. I've been to Canada. I'm sure it's probably a dumb question, but you have security, right? At the airports in Canada.
Yeah, we do. It's usually like quicker to get through though. Like I've been to a lot of the big airports in the States, and I know your guys' can take like hours to get into and stuff. And like I feel like your guys' security is a lot more intense than ours. Like when I go to the airport in like my city, it takes me like 30 minutes to get through. Not even a lot of the time. There's usually like never a line and it takes like 30 minutes to get through security and then you're just in the airport. So it's a lot of our airports are a lot smaller and like it's way quicker to get through them, a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's nice. And I guess it also depends on which airport you go. Like if you go to a smaller airport or bigger airport,
Hmm.
the smaller ones will be quicker, obviously.
Hmm.
So what are you studying in college?
I have an undergraduate degree in nursing. So I did that one in 4 years, and then now I'm going back and I'm taking my master's in adult education. So it pretty much like teaches you how to like be a professor or how to teach adults. So you could teach like nursing eventually.
So is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I would say eventually I'd like to teach at the university.
Any particular one that you want to do in particular, or just see whatever opens up?
Yeah, I'd probably say like see whatever opens up. I think I'd rather teach like the lecture parts of nursing than like the actual clinical parts of it. So probably like a skills lab or something like that, I think would be fun to teach.
So you'd rather teach it than actually do the nursing?
Yeah, I would say so. It's nice because you get really good like hours and stuff. And I think I'm just somebody who also likes to talk a lot. So I've always kind of liked teaching.
Um, so so you graduated a year ago? Well, this past year.
So I did 4 years. So I graduated high school in 2019. And then I did nursing for 4 years, took like a year off and like worked full time. And then I started my master's last year. So I have like at least a year left in my master's, but kind of depends how like slow or quick you end up finishing your classes. I also work full time, so I'll probably just finish the rest of my master's a little bit slower since I'm working full time with it too.
The way you're working full time at,
I work as like a dialysis nurse. So I teach, I'm like a nurse educator. I teach patients.
how's that going?
It's actually really good. It's my favorite nursing job I've had so far. So I'm really liking it. It's more like office based, but then you also get to talk to patients and stuff. And it's a lot like lower stress and you get to build like a strong relationship with the patients, which I really like.
Um, so what made you want to pursue this like nursing and teaching nursing stuff?
Honestly, I pretty much just always was interested in medicine because lots of my relatives kind of work in the medical field. So, um, that, and then I was also always like super interested in like medical sciences growing up. So then I kind of was just like, nursing seems kind of cool. So then I just kind of went into it and then ended up liking it. And yeah, and then while I was working as like a nurse last year, I just kind of started to realize that I definitely like my favorite part of being a nurse is more like the education part of nursing. And I wanted to go back and do another year of track with the university. So I was like, why don't I just take my master's in this and then I can kind of like do something more like patient education.
So was that not always your goal to get a master's?
I was kind of interested before in like doing nurse practitioner, so like some kind of master's. Um, but I wasn't like dead set on it or anything. I kind of feel like it just like fell into my lap almost.
Um, so is it hard balancing all like work, school, and track?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's super busy. Like I would say like being in nursing and doing like clinicals on top of it and doing track was like super, super hard. So I feel like I definitely struggled the most and I was probably in like second year university kind of like getting everything balanced and then I think over time I've kind of just like gotten better at like managing my time and making things work. So I would still say now it's like definitely super hard and a lot of times I'm like tired and don't really want to do things, but I feel like now I just kind of have I guess like the discipline and like the organization skills to get everything done and then yeah, I think it works out. It's definitely tough sometimes though.
Um, so how long would you say is a normal day for training for like track wise for you? Like how long does it usually take to get through a day of like an hour, 2 hours?
We train 5 days a week, and I'd probably say 3 days a week it takes like 3 hours, and then the other two probably 2 hours. So about like 2 to 3 hours, 5 days a week.
And do you usually go in like the morning, afternoon, nighttime? When do you usually?
Pretty much always evening.
Yeah. Like ideally for me, I would run earlier than I do, but the problem is I just don't want to run when it's like night was like really hot outside.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, especially in the summer here at least, it's hot for most of the times. I'm like, I don't want to run when it's hot. I'll just wait till it's later, like 7 o'clock in the evening or 6 or something to it
Mm-hmm.
feel better. And then which is annoying having to wait like so long to run, but it also is makes the running more enjoyable than if I was running early than if I was running in the heat.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's like really hard running in the heat, especially if you're doing something more like tempo or like some longer stuff. It's like you get tired so quick and like almost out of breath.
Um, so what like do you prefer being more hot or cold for sprinting?
Ooh. I feel like if I'm competing, I definitely would prefer the heat because I feel like for sprinters, a lot of times, like when I'm doing the warm up, if I'm at a meet and it's super hot, I'm like, I feel like I'm dying. And I'll kind of like shorten the warm up a little bit because your body just gets hot so fast. But then I always feel like you end up running like your best when it's super hot outside, like plus 30. I feel like is always when I end up PBing. Um, but I think for training, like if I was gonna do like it depends too, I guess. If I was doing like a sprint session, then I would probably rather have the heat. But if I was doing like a really hard workout, like 120s or like 200s, I would probably rather prefer the cold, just because it's like so hard to do that stuff when it's super hot.
Um, so I guess sprinting is more you you like it hotter than cold because I know d distance wise I think it's better for colder than hotter.
Yeah, no, I would say sprinters would probably take the heat over the cold for sure, just because it's so hard to run like super fast when your muscles are tight and then you're always scared of like pulling something if it's cold out or sorry, yeah, if it's too cold, you're always scared of like pulling something. So I feel like it's like hard to run when it's hot, but like your muscles feel really nice when it's hot.
But I also feel like sprinting wise it like I feel like I don't know if it's a bit like I can say this I'm not a sprinter, but based on what it seems like, it feels like either could maybe work because you're only out there for like less than for like 30, not even 30 seconds. Like you're barely out there. So it's like the race is over.
Hmm.
Or like you won't feel the heat that much.
No. No, like especially like when you're just like if you're just doing a race rep, you don't even like feel it. Like again, like you feel it during the warm up, you just kind of feel like tired and like you always have to like kind of find the shade in between just so you don't like kind of over your work yourself. But when you're in a race, like you don't even notice when it's hot because you're not thinking about anything for the 10 to like 20 seconds you're running.
Yeah, because I feel like by the time you think about it, you're already done with the race.
Hmm.
Um, had something to add. Um, have you ever pulled something before in a race or just in training?
Not in a race, I haven't pulled anything, but I feel like I've had a lot of like I guess injuries over the years. I always kind of had like bad knees, so I've had like runner's knee a few times and then patellofemoral. So I kind of always have to do exercises to like keep my knees in check. And then I had like some hamstring tendonitis, kind of in the middle of the summer, so I had to miss one of the bigger meets, which kind of sucked. And then I guess just like some like other things like soleus pain and things like that. But right now I've been like really healthy the last few weeks, knock on wood, so that's been good. But I've kind of feel like in sprinting you kind of always have like something going on, especially when you've been doing it for a few years.
Um, would you say it's easier to get hurt as a sprinter than it is distance runner? If you know.
Mm, I don't really know because I feel like with distance runners, like it's a lot of like volume injuries, like you're just doing so much repetition at like a super high volume. So I don't know. It's kind of weird because I honestly find a lot of the workouts that hurt my body the most are the ones that are closest to distance. So like when I say like tempo, we're doing something um like do 12 200 meters at like 85% with like a 2 minute break in between. Like that would be our tempo. And I feel like for me, that's like the closest thing to distance. And that's always what hurts my body the most. Like every time I have an injury flare up, it's always when I'm running something that's like more similar to distance. So I think sprinters are really like prone to like pulling things like a hamstring or like tendonitis or things like that. But I feel like with distance, you always get the repetition injuries.
Yeah. So something that I always like think about while watching sprinting is like, do y'all get nervous about going outside of your lanes ever?
Yeah, this is actually really funny because like my friends are kind of making fun of me because I think I might be one of the only sprinters who's worried about stepping out of their lane. Because like even like last year, I didn't really run that many like 200 meters because I've always kind of focused a bit more on like the 60 and the 100 meter. And then um like this year I came back and started running like 200s and I was like I was actually like telling my friends like I'm scared of stepping out of my lane and they're laughing at me and like my coach was kind of laughing too because they were like why do you think about that? You're not going to step out of your lane, but it's kind of funny because I think I'm one of the few people who actually does worry about that because I feel like I'm just not the greatest at running corners. So sometimes I'm just like I feel like I'm thinking so hard about like trying not to step out of my lane. But also when I was in first year, when I like it was like the first time I'd ever ran like a 300 meter or something. Which I don't really run them very much, but my coach put me in the 300 and I had to run it. And like, I already was so new to the sport. I had like no endurance. I was like dying in this race. And then I ran the 300, went to the finish line, and I got disqualified for stepping out of my lane. Cause like I was just so new, I didn't even think about running out of the lane. And then I got disqualified, and ever since then, I've been stressed about stepping out of the lane. And it was like 4 years ago.
Because like I remember like in high school I did the 400 meter like once or twice, and like and at least the most recent time I'd ran it, I was like I'm nervous about stepping out of my lane and like will I? Because I wasn't and also my problem was that I guess is also a problem I have with the distance races that I always want to go out too hard.
Hmm.
The first 100, 150, 200, I feel great, but then I'm like hit the wall right after that because I tried to go out too hard.
Yeah, like from what I've heard, I don't think many people are worried about like stepping out of their lane. I feel like since like my one experience, I'm definitely kind of nervous about it like sometimes, especially indoor. Like indoor running like a 200, I guess because you guys probably have like banked tracks mostly. Or do you run indoor much?
Um,
So do you guys have like banked tracks
yeah,
indoor?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because like our tracks, like most of them aren't really banked in Canada, so they're just like that like super tight 200-meter track. So like when you're running an indoor 200 meter, I'm like so nervous about stepping out of my lane because they're just like so tight when you're going that fast.
I feel like if you like really like do it enough, you won't think about it at all. Which
Hmm.
like people like me, like who does distance, who like never has to worry about stepping over the line, pretty much.
Hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. You definitely get more used to it. Like I feel like at the start of the season, I was really like nervous about it, and I would say like when I was running at nationals a week ago, I wasn't even really thinking about it anymore.
Like even like when they have like the waterfall starts at like in distance races that like one side goes here and they can break into the in middle at some point. I always like when do I like I hope I'm just gonna follow that person and when they go in I'm gonna go in
Hmm.
just because I don't want to go early because I'd hate to have a DQ.
Yeah, I know that would suck. And then you don't even find out you're DQ'd until the end. So you just like put in all the effort and you're DQ'd.
Also feel like I would not want it, but also feel like I wouldn't want them telling me mid race. Like I'd hate being yelled at, hey, you're DQ'd, get off the field.
Yeah, that would be also kind of scary.
And and also I feel like it's less public if they did it'd be more public if they did that. I'm like,
True.
yeah, I'll just be off the field away from people when they if that happens.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
And something else, I don't know if sprints had the same problem, but at least for distance wise, like even sometimes if I don't have the time I want, I at least want to finish the race
Hmm.
just because I really don't want to see a DNF on my record.
Yeah, I don't really know because I kind of have heard like in distance sometimes people will DNF if they know they're not gonna like run the time they want. I feel like in sprints, I don't think anyone ever like DNFs for that reason usually. Just because like I feel like the races are so fast, it'd be so weird if you just like stopped after like 60 meters and walked off. It would look so unnatural in sprinting.
Like I can understand maybe the 100 hurdles, maybe
Yeah, maybe. I
like
don't know. I feel like people do it in sprinting, not for running a bad time.
would you ever try hurdles?
No, I don't know. I don't really have an interest in doing it. Like, I don't know. People always said I should have done it because I know a lot of like they say dancers are pretty good at like doing hurdles because they have the hip mobility and stuff. But I feel like I've always been someone who's like scared of getting hurt. So I feel like I just mentally like would not be strong enough to do hurdles. I'd always be scared of hitting them, I think.
Yeah, that's mostly why I haven't ever tried them. Like part of me's like, oh, like steeplechase. I would love it because that event looks very fun to do.
Hmm.
But I would be thinking the entire time, I don't want to fall on my face and look like an idiot,
Hmm.
embarrass myself.
Yeah, no, for sure. Especially with like steeplechase, it's like slippery if you like hit the hurdle.
And because I've seen some like bad fails, like some like people just slamming their head, like just like falling hard on those hurdles. I'm like, especially like the one, like the 100 hurdles. Like I don't get how you do that, like how you do it, jump and like run that fast and still like
Yeah,
I
for
don't.
sure. Even like indoor, we have 60-meter hurdles, which is even like faster, and it's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
it.
no, I couldn't do it. I have some friends who hurdle, and I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
Do you like it, the hurdles?
Like, do I like watching them?
Oh, do they like the hurdles?
Oh yeah, like I feel like everyone I know who does hurdles like loves hurdles, and they think it's so fun. I feel like most people I know, like even like all the multis and stuff I know, I feel like hurdles is all their favorite event.
Would would you ever try a multi-event like a heptathlon, like pentathlon, whatever?
No, I don't really think so. I honestly don't really have much of an interest in like switching up my events. I don't know. I feel like long jump's the only other one I like to do. Um, maybe like a 400 or something. If I got better speed endurance, maybe like a two or a 400, more twos and 400s, but that's pretty much it.
Like I feel like it's just so impressive, like those like multi athletes that I do like 5, 7, 10, whatever events that is.
Hmm.
It's like how it's like they're not gonna win. Like if you just take that standalone event, it's like it's not super elite,
Hmm.
not like super like but they're not terrible at it. And it's just
Yeah,
how
sure.
can you be good at like 10 events?
Yeah, well, honestly, in Canada, a lot of our like best multis are actually like really, really good at individual events. Well, I guess like the States is kind of like that too, because I think even like I don't know if you know who like Anna Hall is, but she's like a multi in the States. I think she's like second best multi of all time, pretty much like points wise. Um, and like pretty much in all of her individual events, she would hit like Olympic qualifying like times and stuff.
Which is
Not like the top tier of Olympics, but like she would be able to qualify probably in all of her events.
and, and that's just crazy. Like it says you qual. It's like I don't think I could do that.
Mm-mm.
Like it might be fun maybe one time to try. Um, an event would want to try, but I knew I would fail, and I would don't think I'd make up the ground is pole vault.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah,
event looked
another
really
one
fun.
like a lot of people think looks really cool. But I think it looks kind of sketchy.
Like it look like I feel like being in the air that would feel really fun.
Yeah, I think it would. It's just I've seen some like weird pole vault fails. Like, yeah, I saw this guy like break his leg pole vaulting at one of our meets this year, and I was like, I'm okay.
Like I feel like if I could know how to do it, I would love it. But the problem is I don't think I could is that and the fact that I also know that it is more than what it looks like on TV.
hmm
Because it looks like just running, putting the thing down, just like going up and like. But I know that there's a lot more technique and flexibility and stuff that's required.
Yeah, for sure.
I also probably have one try javelin too.
Oh yeah, we don't really train much javelin here, just because we do so much like indoor instead of outdoor. So I don't really like see a javelin very often.
Just because I feel like it'd be fun to throw a big spear. And
Yeah, that would be fun.
I don't think I'd be good at it, but it'd be fun just to try.
Yeah, it would be, I think.
If you could, if so, like, what other event would you say that you'd want to try that you have not done, or you'd be interested in trying?
Mm, I don't even know because I feel like I've gotten to try a lot of events. So like I don't know because I used to like triple jump back like when I was in elementary school. I thought triple jumping was fun, but now I think it would hurt your body. So I don't know if I had to pick one. Like I don't even know actually. Probably long jump, but that's kind of like cheating because I do long jump sometimes. So it's kind of like cheating, I guess.
Um, are there any events that you would not want to try that you would completely opposed to?
Definitely distance. I just like don't I like want to like distance running and I think it looks cool. I just like personally don't think it's fun for me to do. Definitely distance. Probably like discus I wouldn't really want to try. Or like weight throw I wouldn't want to try. Yeah, beyond that I'd probably try it. The others, I guess. I think pole vault looks fun, but I'd be scared.
I feel like those like discus shot put like those throwing things. Cause I can kind of all group those all together in the same category.
hmm
Like those do not like I don't those kind of in really most of any of the field events pretty much I'm like I don't know what is a good mark.
hmm Yeah, I have like a pretty good idea for jumps just because I like train in the jumps group and I long jump sometimes. So like I know like triple jump and like long jump and like kind of decent at high jump and stuff, but I don't know much about the throws at all. Except for like shot put girls, I guess I kind of know a little bit about just from like having multis on the team and stuff.
So do you do high jump?
No, I don't. But I did have to high jump like twice this summer because our pit was like closed. So instead of long jumping, they were like, you can just go with like the high jump coach for the day. So I had to do it a few times and I was starting to get a little frustrated.
So what's it like doing a high jump? Like it just looks awkward doing the like
It was awkward. It was really awkward. Like I remember actually when I was in elementary school, my best events were triple jump and high jump. And I like was just thinking like, oh yeah, I'm more athletic now. Like maybe I'll be good at high jump. And then I literally like I was with the high jumpers and it felt so awkward. Probably just because I also haven't done it forever. And I just was like, I just want this practice to be over. I started getting frustrated because it's so awkward. Especially when you're used to sprinting in a straight line, you're just kind of running up on this like awkward angle and then taking off with your back foot and like throwing your body backwards. It feels like so awkward when you're not used to it.
it just looks awkward. Like it looks like and like how high you really are jumping. It's like I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely hard when you get to like a university level and stuff, just because there's like so much that goes into training it. It's so technical.
So do you declare most of the time? Would you knock it down?
At this practice, I was knocking it down because I was scared to hit the stick. I was like knocking it down pretty much like the whole time. I think I got one at the end. I don't know what it was, maybe like 145 or something.
Um, I definitely feel like I also feel like how they organize it feels different compared to like sprinting or distance. I feel like this may be wrong but like it looks like you like get caught on the field, you do your event, you're done. Whereas like field events, you do your first attempt, then you wait around, you do your second attempt. It just feels a lot of like I'll be nervous about like missing my turn.
Oh yeah, but like, you have to always like stay in the area while you're doing your event. Like people don't ever like really leave the competition area. But yeah, they're kind of different. Like high jump, I think they just like set a height and then like people get like three tries and then if they miss the third attempt, then they're like cut from the competition. Whereas like long jump and triple jump, it's like they just like have an order. Sometimes it'll be from like the best or no, the worst seed to like the best seed, and then they just like call you up, you do a jump, and then you have to wait until the next round to go again.
Um, and I also hate just and also the one thing about I guess that will also kind of sucks that I would hate is that I feel like I would not have the patience to just stand around there all day.
Yeah, honestly, sometimes it's like it feels pretty long when you're used to like sprints or like competing the whole time. It's actually like a long process, especially if you make like the top eight in like a field event, and then after you're like sitting there for another like 10 minutes while they're organizing everything. So I feel like long jump and like different field events actually turn into like a whole process. Like you're there for a while.
So in your sprinting, where is in the meet is, is like do they usually fall? Like like beginning, middle, and
It's like totally depends on what meet it is. Usually, like they'll do a shorter sprint, like day. Well, no, it totally depends on the meet, honestly. It's kind of hard to say because it like totally depends. Pretty much like the only thing they try and do in the schedule is just make sure they're spreading out all the sprints. Because usually the people who run like the 100 meter will do the 200 meters. So they'll try and do like different days, or like people who run the 300 will do the 60s. They try and split those up, and then they'll try to split like the relay up from like some of the other sprints too. So kind of depends on the meet, but they kind of just try and split it like nicely for sprinters.
yeah, I remember when I was in high school, like I did the 300 a lot,
Hmm.
and the problem with that is that it was either first or second to last.
Hmm.
So like it was like and what we didn't like about it is that like some of the bigger mates, this wasn't much of a problem, especially some of the smaller mates that not many people ran the 3200. Not many people wanted to stay till the very end to watch the 3200. So it also kind of felt very empty.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that would suck for sure. Like for us, I would say it's kind of like our 4x4 100 meter relays and stuff. Like a lot of times people don't stay at the end for that, and it's just kind of like it's a long race, and then no one's there cheering anybody on, so that part kind of sucks.
Like that's also why like I was like, you know what? Even if I'm just wondering, like I think I was hurt, but I still like came to meet. So
Hmm.
like even just like even if you you don't have any events, it's still nice to like obviously if no one's in your team's competing for any of the events, you don't need to stay unless you want to. But I would say unless you have something else that you have to get to, I would say you should stay for the other events just to like be supportive of your teammates.
Hmm. For sure.
Um, so are you close with all your teammates?
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty close with them. Like usually you just like spend so much time together that you kind of all end up like becoming friends with each other, and that's kind of like your main group of people.
Um, so I'm guessing um do you think college would have been different for you had you not had this group of like runners to like be with?
Um, well, it's kind of like I've had like different groups of people, I guess. Like I'd probably say I've had like about three different sets of people on the team just because I've been on the team for a long time now. But yeah, I would definitely say like having a good group and stuff makes like such a big difference. And like I think in my like earlier years of track, I still like track, but I wasn't like as serious about it. And then kind of when I got into like third year, one of the older girls in the team like kind of took me under her wing and we went on like a big like track trip, and then after that I kind of just came home and was like super inspired about track, and I feel like that really like shaped my like passion for track now. Like I feel like I the last few years I really love track, and I think it definitely comes down to having like teammates who are like good friendly competition, things like that.
Like I think for me, like I think it would be completely different not having people. Because I feel like, especially like for me at least, I didn't really know many people going into college.
Hmm.
So just like having that um that teammate like base of like, oh, I at least start with knowing all these people. So it's like it feels less like so it feels less scary going from like knowing nobody to like actually starting knowing some people and then start expanding from there.
Hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely. Like, I didn't know anybody really going on the team except for my like older brother. But yeah, I feel like when you're just like with people all the time, you make like friends really quick, and then they kind of become an important part of your life quick.
Um, I guess my last question would be like, is there anything else that I've not asked or said that is worth stating? I guess. Is there anything?
No, I can't really think of anything. Like, you asked good questions. Do you are you on, like in university?
Um,
Like, what's your background?
um, so when I don't know, I graduated high school, was it 22? 22, I believe. Was it 22, I think? I believe it was 22. Yeah, 20, yeah, 2022. And then I went to a small school, like a small Christian college, for like first 3 semesters. And then I transferred to a bigger school, and that's where I've been. I should graduate next May. I was on the team when like on the first college I went to, but now that I've been here, like I've not been able to be on the team, which I definitely think like has been hard. Not going from like
Hmm.
running, been on a team for like years and then not being on one has definitely been hard
Hmm.
because like I just miss the community,
Hmm.
and especially now doing these talks with people, it's like this makes me miss it even more. Like because always like, oh, I'm on the team. Like, oh, I wish I could say that. Like,
Yeah.
it should just like makes me wish, makes me sad that, but also just like, but I do know quite a few people on the team, so it's like not like and I'm still running every day and like for fun anyway.
Hmm. So then you like run, and then do you just like follow a lot of the big meets and then like talk to people from different meets and stuff?
Ideally, it's like pretty much just like try to find any big meat I can, and like just I like it's easier when, like when they all grouped in one meet because it's all there, so it's easier to follow. Whereas like I know so many people's like which school like I don't want to like because there's so many meets, so it's like sometimes harder to find.
Hmm.
Like some of the bigger meets I obviously know just off of like, oh, this meet happens every year. Some of the smaller ones, it's harder to exactly know until the bigger ones, like the regionals, the national meets, when like everyone's there. So like, oh, it's easier to follow when everyone's at one spot.
Hmm.
Like, like I could look at, but them is the problem. Like, I know some people from some places. Like, I don't want to look up 12, 15, 20 schools schedules of cross country just to look at the and then put them in my calendar and then hope I remember that. Like that
Yeah, sure. Definitely be the easiest at nationals. I feel like most people are at nationals.
like I think like usually what I do is just like look at some of the bigger like the main bigger schools and then just see what their schedules and can and then look back on occasion. like I occasionally like, look at them. It's like, oh, when are they racing? And then usually, like, I would say usually, especially like to some of the bigger ones, they all kind of grouped kind of together. So it's
Hmm.
kind of like I might not get everyone until the national meet. Like some schools I may miss, but there's just too many colleges and like places to follow. So it's like, yeah, I got. So it's like I hope I get you some point to look at how you do, but most times it's like I won't be able to because just it's not like I got infinite like it's not like I'm a short on time, but it's not like I got infinite amount of time just like
Hmm.
around looking for. And then like with how one thing about track is that track's easy to because like track because like you have like you know what the event they run, so it's easier to find them. Whereas
Hmm.
like, do you have a good day? Did you have a bad day? And then some of the bigger ones like there's like 100, 200 people. Like that takes a while to look through. How did you do?
Hmm.
So like if I have a friend that goes to certain school, it's easy because I want to see how they race, so it's easy to follow them.
Hmm.
Some like the other ones are just like I might get to see how other people do, I might not. It's just complete random chance.
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool though.
But yeah, um, I also meant to tell you this. So I can't remember if I ever told you why I'm doing this. Did I ever tell you that why I'm doing these?
So,
Um, so basically, like I'm trying to think. So I forgot when it was, but back in like earlier this spring, I saw some people like do that. I was like, I actually really like that idea of like interviewing athletes.
hmm.
And I'm just I forgot if I'd started. I'm pretty I forgot if I'd started recording races before tip the spring. I might have done it, but I have some. I'm not looking to see when the first one post was.
Hmm.
Um, but just like um, I just like talking to ath athletes. I like making new friends,
Hmm.
and I kind of like want to do this after I graduate. Like I did, I want to like interview, maybe I don't know, maybe interview athletes or commentate on races.
Hmm.
Just like that's what I want to do when I'm older. So let's start now and just get the practice now.
Yeah, for sure. Not that's definitely a good idea.
And you just meet some nice people that otherwise you wouldn't probably never know existed.
Hmm.
Just so cool that like in the spring I was more leaning towards more like college age. And
Hmm.
also I don't want to go too young or too old because I feel like if you go either side, it's like too young. It's just it's just too young. B, they don't have enough experience so that I can't talk to them enough about it because it'd be like hard because it would be like two questions and then they're like, I don't know what else to continue this. Too
Hmm.
old, like I I've also thought about doing like trying to have like um do just like recreational runners, just like people who run for fun but don't really like want to like get elite with like try to do really good with it, but just
Hmm.
develop all of them. But then it's a problem with like I feel like I wouldn't have enough things to talk to them about.
Hmm.
I know so I guess the point is like is I want like a variety. Like I don't just want like obviously every person's gonna have a different story and different thing to say. But I also feel like in a way it's almost the same kind of the same very similar among
Yeah,
people,
for sure.
especially like so I want like I think the youngest I want to talk to is like junior senior in high school. Just so I feel like that's like because that point they should have enough experience
Hmm.
that they can actually talk and helps them too, helps me. So just like I want like different places, like different countries, different age groups, different everything to have different like demographic, I think is the right word.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely sounds like a cool idea.
Just so I can like have all like get some amateurs, get some pros.
Hmm.
Eventually, I will hopefully get some like Olympians, talk to some actual. Hopefully, I can talk to some like gold medalists, some like actual medalists. Is I'm hoping to one day get to that. So just like
Sure.
I was just like, let's just start now because I also feel like it'd be is that not saying like some of the lesser ones like these are less important, but just like I want to make sure like when I hopefully when I futurely do talk to some Olympian that I have everything like that I'm like prepared and ready.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely want some experience.
So that's why I'm like this. It should get. So it's just now when I'm like still like year left of college just to like get that experience and just try to. Honestly, once I go back in like the next week, it'll be like harder to be more like I won't be to be free as much probably,
And
but
then
but at
usually,
least
oh, sorry. Do you
but
usually post your interviews on like a YouTube page or something, or is it on your Instagram?
usually I post it on my YouTube page. So in spring I did like 8 of them. I uploaded a couple of videos. It didn't really. I got like, not many views. I feel like I kind of got like, oh, this is a bummer. I was really hoping to get more views. But then
Hmm.
I like kind of rethought about it more this summer. Like, you know what? I should stop thinking about the views because that's not really why I did it.
Hmm.
And yeah, I love the views, but I care more about the actual talk about the actual like that's why I didn't like we were focusing too much on editing. Like the first videos are edited, but like my dad helped me edit the videos with them or like or I guess edit it, I should say like do some editing with them. And I'm like I like maybe like if I have like got a big enough YouTube channel or like I have enough people, then I might be more motivated to like edit.
Hmm.
But how little I have, I'm just doing now. I'm just doing it just for the actual experience for me, rather than the actual. I upload them just I don't know for fun,
Yeah, for sure. That's really cool.
but like until I get a big enough following, I guess I won't try to too hard on like. 'Cause I feel like there's no point in me trying to figure out how to edit videos when like only 2 people are viewing the video. It's like
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely check your YouTube out after.
yeah, but so that's just why I was like, let's just get practice now and. So far, I've gotten like what 20 of them so far.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
And the weird thing is that like I don't know why, but I always get nervous every time before each one of them.
Oh, yeah, that's
Like
funny.
like even though like I know I'm gonna enjoy it, I know I'm think it'll be fine. And and even if you'd ask me what am I nervous about, I don't think I could tell you. Something about it is like I just get nervous, but then like whenever I finish it, I'm like that was a really fun time.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like at least like number one, I think people just always kind of get nervous about new things, and then I feel like if you're nervous, it just means that you care, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I guess if I wasn't nervous, it would show that I wouldn't care as much. So.
Hmm. For sure. Well, it was nice talking to you.